Miss Transformers 96 here with another video talking about some newly shown items at San Diego Comic-Con 2018, and this time we have the Mattel series from Aquaman. This is their movie series. So I'm quite excited about this. The Mattel series, you know, when they're just comics ones, I'm really not interested, but when they do the movie ones, I do like to pick up some of the figures. Of course, Mattel isn't the greatest of quality, but sometimes they really impress you with their sculpts, and this looks like a solid wave overall. Like, they impress me with their movie waves sometimes, so I'm kind of excited for this wave, I must say. I think that it's a great assortment of characters, to be honest, so I'm very happy about that. So starting off, we have Ocean Master, who is what has been said is like the main villain in the movie. Obviously, Black Manta is a villain in the movie, but I don't think that he's like the main one. I think Ocean Master is. His costume is very... He's the closest to being cheesy that I've seen. Like, out of the images that I've seen of him for the promotional images of the film, he's the one that comes across as the most cheesiest designed. So I do worry about how he's going to come across in the movie itself. But I think the figure looks pretty decent. I do like the coloring on it. I mean, I'm just a fan of purple and silver. Like, that's just a great combination of colors. So it looks really cheesy, but I kind of like it anyway, just because I'm kind of into that color scheme. But I think the helmet looks odd. Just the design of the helmet in general, not just the figure-wise. I'm not a big fan of the helmet, to be honest. But the figure does look decent, and he is a villain, so that does excite me, of course. Then we have a very blurry image of Aquaman. We'll get a clearer one of the actual image of him. But as you can see, he's looking very interesting. What I really want to talk about with this, the only reason I'm going to dwell on this blurry image, is just because the picture on the box seems to be his more not crab-like, but kind of sea urchin to shell-like costume, and yet the costume in the box is his, what was kind of revealed as his like classic suit, which is very odd. Now this kind of seashell costume, apparently in the in this image, which was released, I'll go back to this again, but apparently the necklace that he's wearing here, in the comics, that necklace has the ability to give him like this seashell costume, which we've seen before in a promotional image, and this is the promotional images for it. So I don't know if they just used the wrong picture to represent him, or they just don't want to show off exactly this comic-like costume in the movie yet, so they're using a different promotional image, or what, but it is odd that the two images, or the image and the figure, don't really align. Sorry, I'm going the wrong way. Next up, we have Mira. I think that she looks like a pretty decent figure. Face sculpt-wise is you know, but that's to be expected with Mattel. However, I do like the body sculpt. I like the proportions, I think, look pretty nice, and then the sculpting looks really good too, and then the colors are really great. I love the way that it really shines. It looks really nice. I'm quite enjoying it. I do like the fact that she comes with extra hands that are having her control the water, and then she comes with some sort of spear over here, as you can see. And then Black Manta, this is the character that I'm most looking forward to in the movie. I've always loved the design of Black Manta in the comics, but I didn't think that they would go like full-out comic-like in the movie, and they totally have. They not only went full-out comic-like, but they really just amped the comic design. So I absolutely love this look of him in the movie, and I'm loving the figure here. I think he looks really nice. I like his proportions, and I think he just looks excellent. I'll go more into depth with that. And then the Collect and Connect figure from this wave is going to be the Trench. I believe that's kind of what they're referred to as, but they're kind of like monsterish characters. I don't know how big of a role they're going to have in the movie. They are on that promotional image as well. They're right down here. I really like the design of them. They're kind of like humanoid piranhas, which I think is very cool. So I definitely like the look of them. I just don't know, you know, how much they're going to be actually in the movie. And then the breakdown for the figures, if I'm not mistaken, each of the legs comes with the brothers, Ocean Master and Aquaman. Then the arms are going to come with Mira, and then the head is coming with Black Manta, and I believe the body comes with Black Manta as well, but it's hard to tell. And there is one other figure here that I'll go over that might come with the body. And then here's Ocean Master out of package. Again, like, he looks a little cheesy. He really does. He almost looks like a Power Rangers villain, which I'm not a fan of. But at the same time, I like the colors, although I think that the colors make him look really cheesy, but I like the colors just in general for the colors that they are, and then I do like the fact that he's a villain, so I am interested in this one. I'm just, like, here's the thing, I like the figure and I want to get the figure, but I'm just worried about how he's going to come across in the movie, because I'm not a big fan of the actor portraying him either. And then we have Aquaman here. The figure himself, the body, I think looks really nice. I think that looks like a solid body, pretty well proportioned. The torso is maybe a little too wide, but overall I think it's pretty well proportioned, and the detail in it looks really good. The head sculpt, on the other hand, I think is a little off. The face looks decent, but I think that the hair looks off. The beard looks good, but just the actual, like, just hair on the top of his head and how it lays down, I think it looks way too flat up top. I wish that they would bulk it up a bit, but he does come with a trident as well. And then here's Mira out, and here's her with the one hand using the water effect. I think she looks very nice. Again, face sculpt's not great, but I do like the body. I think it looks really good. Black Manta looking even better out of package. He looks really good. I like his proportions. I mean, the thighs are like just, they're too bulky. Like, he gets really thin towards the crotch area, and then he just has these thunder thighs. But I kind of like it almost gives it a really comic booky type proportions to it. Like, you know, because they draw thighs, you know, pretty large to, you know, represent, you know, kind of strength in the legs there, and I kind of like it. So although it looks a little odd, I think this Black Manta figure looks tremendous, and I'm pretty excited for it, to be honest. And then the last figure that's shown here that wasn't shown in package is Volko, I think is how you pronounce his name. It's William Dafoe's character in the movie. I think the figure looks pretty nice, and I think the likeness to William Dafoe is there. Like, I could tell who it was. It's not great or anything, but I mean, for Mattel, I think it's decent. I don't understand, like, the piece of paper he's holding, if that's some sort of map or something, but that's interesting. And then, of course, he comes with the shield. If you're wondering, this is him on the cover of the magazine here. So basically, the characters you're getting are Aquaman, Mira, William Dafoe's character, Black Manta, Ocean Master, and then the Trench. So I think that's a really nice arrangement of figures. Again, this figure could just be an exclusive, and he could not come with any Build-A-Figure piece, or maybe he comes with the torso for the Trench, or maybe he comes with some extra thing that hasn't been shown yet. They do that sometimes, where they'll give you like an extra accessory that's not like needed to complete the Build-A-Figure, but it just kind of adds to it, which I think is quite cool. And then just to give you a few shots, because they have a tremendous display that I would love to talk about here. So first of all, this is a life-size kind of statue to represent the Black Manta from the film, which I think is super cool. I absolutely love it. Then we have some of the dolls there. Here we go. Look at this just gorgeous display that they have set up. I would love to see this thing in person. And again, that's one thing that I'm disappointed about with the Trench being the Collect to Connect figure. I really want the Trench, so I think it's a nice Collect to Connect figure because of that. However, it just means that I would love to get like a few of them, and I'm certainly not going to build a whole bunch of them. So it's a shame that it's going to be kind of hard. You really can't army build them unless you like really are going to spend some money. But they look really cool. I love the detail on them. They look tremendous. It looks like they have an articulated jaw, which is cool. You have the two of them together. Look at this. What a cool little scene here. I believe that these are like the soldiers for Ocean Master, but these are not in Mattel's kind of movieverse type of line. I believe that this is kind of the more childish version of that line, because they kind of do like a set that comes with this Collect to Connect figure that's more collector friendly, and then they do one that's a little bit more child friendly, but they still kind of fit in together. So if you wanted to put them together, they still kind of work. So that is cool. But yeah, you can see the hero and the villain fighting. There they are, closer up. Again, like, you can see that they're not as good of quality, but they're close to the movie Masters kind of series. I know that they don't call it that anymore, but it's kind of just what I grew up with. And then there's a ton of like shark figures that you can get, that you can have the characters ride, which I think is really cool. I think that there's some just great opportunity for toys in this new movie. But yeah, as you can see, a big old fight here. You can see Black Manta sneaking up on the two of them with the Trench kind of surrounding them. Oh man, just wonderful display. Now this is interesting because this definitely looks like it's both of these figures look like they're a part of the regular series for the Movie Masters of the Multiverse series. So there might be a second wave of Aquaman figures. So that is kind of interesting to see. But yeah, more of them. Yeah, so here's his soldiers, and here's the toyish version of Ocean Master. This is not the one that's been in the other boxes. But yeah, loving the sharks everywhere, and you get a little thing there. So yeah, so overall, I think that these figures look tremendous. I'm actually, well, I mean, they look tremendous for Mattel. Mattel isn't great, of course, but I think that they do some solid work overall, and I enjoyed collecting the Wonder Woman line. The Justice League line was a little but I like the Build-A-Figure of it, and I think that this line looks good overall. I mean, for a line of like, 5 or 6 characters, the majority of them, or at least half of them, are villains, which I think is really cool. That's something that, of course, I really appreciate, as I am a big villain fan. But overall, I do plan to get the series to complete the Trench. If I don't need William Dafoe's character to complete him, then I'll skip him. But I absolutely need Black Manta in my life, and then the Trench figure I really want as well. Ocean Master would just be a nice addition for my villain collection, of course. And then Aquaman and Mira I don't think look the greatest, but you know, they're worth purchasing, of course. So there you go. So that's my thoughts on this new Mattel Multiverse line featuring the Aquaman movie. Let me know what you guys think of this line, and thanks so much for watching.